Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the weekend update. I'm going to try and make this short because there's not a whole lot we can say. We are still held hostage to whatever headline or tweet rolls out there. I mean, we've seen so many bottoms in the last few days. It looks like a diaper factory. I mean, it's just pretty bad. Every time we look like the market or stock is ready to do a big bounce, we get some sort of headline news that comes out, some tariff nonsense. Tariffs are on, tariffs are off, they're delayed, they're not delayed, and as a result, we just see the shorts getting all the ammo to need to hammer stuff down. This is the QQQ chart, and I've just left all the bottoms we've seen in this chart in the last week or so. Each time we look like we're about to go, we get some tariff news, drops. Then we bounce right back up to this trend line, some sort of tariff news comes out. Down we go again. Now, I will say the recovery on Friday, really good sign. But we are again held hostage to whatever news could come out today and tomorrow going into Monday morning. Downtrend break, we're probably going to need to break over 500 on the QQQs. And if we get no tariff news for a couple of days, we could and have the chart potential for big moves. But then again, as we've seen, every time we think this nonsense is over, we get another tweet or we get another headline. Looking at the SPY, you can see here, this was a pretty significant bounce off the 200-day moving average on Friday, and it came on big volume. So that is a good sign. Deeply oversold. If we can get a few hours or a couple of days again without any headlines, there is lots of upside here for a 15 to 20 plus move on both this and the QQQ. We've seen momentum stocks just getting taken to the woodshed. Poster child for that, of course, is APP. Shorts have just been loving what's been happening here over the last few days. Every time, again, we look like we were about to get a big bounce, got hammered down. Again, this is down in after hours, 13 bucks. I had a great close on Friday. S&P 500, they decided to add DoorDash. Okay, I see DoorDash getting kicked out of the S&P 500 in a couple years, but that's, I mean, they just started posting profits in October, and they're already being added to the SPY. All right, we'll see. I guess S&P 500 chasing growth for their continual rebalance. Downtrend break again. This one needs to get back over 300. Nothing else we can say. Shorts are going to be hammering this one probably Monday based on the S&P 500 exclusion, but it's not like it was priced in. The stock has essentially been halved over the last 2 weeks since a really good earnings report, a couple of BS short reports. If we can see the momentum stocks kick into gear, this one should do pretty well. NBIS, again, I've just left all these support lines here. Now, the positive thing about NBIS here, and it may give another entry in the 26s. 26 looks like a solid stop here. This chart has, in the nonsense we saw in the last week, this is looking at the hourly chart. It's been holding that $26 level very well. So this chart, if there was one I was going to eyeball for a bounce trade early next week, other than some of the other ones, this one is giving us a chart that says there should be a pretty good bounce on it. It might be a retrace beforehand, but this one's setting up. And regarding the market, we could see a pullback on Monday. Again, we're probably going to get some sort of tweet or nonsense on Sunday, but that would be considered healthy. If we see a dip back on the SPY and the Qs early Monday and then another push higher, that could solidify a nice bounce for next week. ROKU, again, another strong growth stock, just got hammered on Friday. They pulled all the stops out just above the 200-day moving average. This is one, when we start to see the growth stocks do a really nice bounce, this is one that should give at least 10 to 20% upside bounce, I think. SMCI, as we've said, this one's been bouncing between the 50 and 200-day moving average. Held pretty well on Friday. If I was jumping into this one, my stops would probably be 34.50 to 35, looking for a move up to 42 to 45. This is another one of these momentum stocks I'm going to be watching for an entry come Monday. Intel, you would think with all the tariff talks, this would be the stock that actually manufactures chips in the U.S. that would be doing well, but no. We are in an upside down market right now, but everyone was loving this stock at 27 2 weeks ago, and they hate it down here at 20. I'm back in accumulate mode here. I'm starting to pick up some call options as well, a couple of months out, and I'll keep rolling those out. Near term, I think next week, if we have any sort of bounce in the market, aka NVIDIA, this is a $23, $24 stock. SYPR, just bringing this up, broke down, very low volume, deeply oversold. This is what most charts have done in the last few days. Now, we did have some nice movers. ANTX, big run up, big run down, cash-rich biotech, big pop over the last few days. Another one that is also loaded with cash, they broke it down back to the trend line midpoint here again. This is one that when it gets some sort of good news, it's sitting on a boatload of cash. 200-day moving average up here at 2 is what I would be looking for. Again, I'm throwing out some charts. We are being held hostage to whatever headlines come out regarding tariffs. They're on, they're off, etc., etc. For most people, most traders, this is a handset market right now. If you've seen anything, look at how many bottoms we've had on stocks like ROKU, NBIS, app, etc., etc. Probably going to need a couple of days of solid movement upside. And, if you're swinging some of these large cap stocks that we're underwater on right now, at least we've got some participation when the rally does erupt. And then we can probably look around to picking up laggard stocks in small cap land and large cap land. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. I will see you all in the chat room on Monday. Bye.